Houston.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Nixon, call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Jackson now. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Now it's Jackson, and an alley to run. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This will be taken at the 10. Time return there, 40 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Check.
From the 50, it's Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. 15 yards. The Texans pick up the 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, here's Watson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
At their 48-yard line. Let's go! 15 on it. 55. Come on, come on, come on.
On second down, Nixon, and an alley to run, and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson. They'll find Miller. That's complete. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice this game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Hey, we got 54.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
You're looking there, the defensive back was maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Matt Judon in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They are in the 2nd quarter down in Miami. It's the Dolphins that have jumped out to the early lead against the Patriots. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10.
Watch the slant. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Kill. Turn up.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
We got this.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyus Bowser in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Another try after the first down sack. Watson being chased out left. And Stills bringing it in. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
We play to win. Let's go. At their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Check 41.
This time Jackson will throw it, and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Matt Judon racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Third and 13.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So from their own 20 all the way to the red zone now. A chance to capitalize on 1st and 10. Jackson got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll run it again with Miller. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Watson on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. This is Miller, complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little
pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
40 wants the mic. 40 wants the mic. Now let's run.
To throw is Jackson. To throw on 3rd down. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball, they're super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He may try and run for this.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. This is taken at the 10. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They're on to the second half now down in Miami. The Dolphins, they have extended their lead in that one. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 35 on 2nd down, Watson. It's complete. Stills. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. On the left side, this is Stills. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
4 down. Check. I got 40.
To throw is Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And a catch made by Hopkins. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. Back now in Houston. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Back now in Houston. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They go play action here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And this is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
We got 4.
After the run, Watson going to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Sacked there by Nick Perry, the outside linebacker.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
It really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here. Because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do. And the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits, create some more natural running lanes. Might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes.
They'll keep it on the ground. Nixon. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. They'll get that one out quickly to Brown. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On first down, Nixon. And he's got some space here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Let's go, team. Big shit.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Ravens have got it. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this third down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down. Keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
To throw on third down, Jackson steps away to his left. He uncorks it for Snead. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead. His 5th touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's caught. Stills, right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A big spot now for the Texans as they'll try for 2.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Get his voice down. He's coming. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Check motion, 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 motion.
They'll try and run it in with Miller. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Yeah, another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll keep it on the ground. Nixon. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
41's coming. 41's the Mike. Not today, you are. Hayward. 41 Mike. 41 Mike. Watch the run. They're running it.
Throwing now is Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. It's in the fourth quarter down in Miami. And it was the Patriots that wound up winners in that one. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. He'll look to throw. This is caught. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either...
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Watson now to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. Decision to be made on 4th and just a few inches in overtime. What do you do?
I know you've got to weigh it out as a head coach, because if you don't get it, you've turned it over in a great spot for the opposition to go down and win the game. But 4th and inches, I think what most teams do is they say, if we can't get inches, we don't deserve to win anyway.
Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll run. It's Miller. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was